AI moves fast. Every day there's a new model, a new debate, a new thing you need to know.
So we do the catching up for you. 5 stories, 10 minutes, just the stuff that matters.
I'm Mike.
I'm Sarah.
This is Parsed.
Hello, doom scrollers. Okay, so 2 things happened in the last 12 hours and I am still processing both of them. Claude Code shipped voice mode. You literally talk to your terminal and code appears. And Claude hit #1 on the entire App Store. Not the AI category, not productivity, the App Store. Beating TikTok, beating Instagram, beating everything. Plus, Anthropic's design lead says the classic design process is dead. A viral video says AI creates more jobs than it kills. And 2 teenagers just sold their AI app for $50 million. Let's go. Okay, so something just dropped this morning that changes the whole lineup. Claude Code just got voice mode. The Reek from the Claude Code team posted it a few hours ago. Already over 1 million views. 1 million! And here's how it works. You hold space, you talk, you release. Push to talk. The transcript streams right into your terminal at your cursor. That is it. Which means you can type half a prompt. Voice the messy middle part. Keep typing. It just slots in. It does not blow away what is already there. And here is the kicker. It is free. No extra cost. Voice transcription tokens do not even count against your rate limits. 0 free. I'll say it. This is the natural next step after vibe coding. We went from typing prompts to talking to our code editor. That is the trajectory. The interesting design choice, though, they went push to talk, not always listening. That is deliberate. That is saying, we do not want to be your pair programmer that never shuts up. I actually respect that.
So what for builders? If you are on Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise to check your Claude Code welcome screen. About 5% of users have it right now. It is ramping fast. /voice to turn it on.
The open question, is this how we all code in 2 years? Or does it break the second you try to explain a regex out loud? I genuinely do not know yet. But that is not the only Claude story today, because Claude just hit #1 on the entire App Store. And the backstory? It is wild. Last week, the Trump administration told Anthropic something. Build us autonomous weapons and mass surveillance tools, or you lose your government contracts. Dario said no, flat out refused. So the government blacklisted them, every federal agency told to stop using Claude. That was supposed to be the punishment. Instead, it became the best marketing event in AI history. The entire internet rallied behind Anthropic. People started posting about switching to Claude. Quit GPT started trending. And the Dario thing was only half the story. Because then OpenAI made it worse. Sam took the Pentagon deal that Anthropic rejected, the same week, while the dust was still settling. And then, OpenAI pulled GPT-4o, the model their users actually loved. So you have got people already frustrated about losing their favorite model, and now they find out the company that took it away just signed up for military AI. While the company that said no to weapons is getting punished for it. The contrast could not be more clear. Look, the Streisand effect here is textbook. Government tries to punish a company becomes the underdog hero. Daily signups at all-time records. People are actively migrating. Fire Sam Altman trending, Quit GPT trending, Keep 4o trending, all at the same time. And Anthropic is not even pushing back publicly. They are not doing interviews. They are not tweeting about it. They are just shipping. Which brings me to the builder angle. And this is the part I keep thinking about. Anthropic did not plan a marketing campaign. They said no to something, got punished for it, and the internet turned them into a movement. The biggest growth hack is not a feature. It is a story. I'll say it. Vibes beat benchmarks for consumer products. People do not care about your eval scores. They care how the tool makes them feel. And right now, Claude makes people feel like they are backing the right team. That is worth more than any model improvement you could ship. OpenAI has objectively better benchmarks on some tasks. Does not matter, because users do not choose tools based on eval leaderboards. They choose based on trust, based on vibes, based on the story. And right now, Anthropic has all of it. Okay, very different energy, but stay with me on this one. The company that everyone is migrating to, Anthropic. Their own design lead just said something that shook the entire design community. Jenny Wen leads design for Claude. Before that, she was director of design at Figma. Yes, that Figma. She led FigJam and Slides. She went on Lenny's podcast and dropped this thesis. The classic design process is dead. Diverge, converge, double diamond is done. Now to be clear, double diamond is how most design teams work. You explore a bunch of ideas, narrow them down, explore again, then converge on a solution. It is the framework that gave designers a seat at the table for the last decade. It's Jenny is saying it does not work for AI products. Her new framework is called Design with Hands. Skip the process. Use intuition. Ship code, not wireframes. And the reason this hit so hard is WHO is saying it. She is not some AI bro dumping on designers. She literally ran design at the company that makes the tools for the old process. And now she is at the company building the AI that replaces it. The design community is completely split. Half are saying finally someone with real credentials said what we were all thinking. The other half think this is move fast and break things dressed up for 2026. And I get that concern. Process exists for a reason. It keeps teams aligned. But Jenny is saying something more specific. Start with code. Prototype first, then refine. Look, here is the builder angle. If you are hiring designers right now, the job description just changed. Ship prototypes, not decks. Hire designers who code. The design to code gap is collapsing. If your design team still spends 3 weeks in Figma before anyone writes code, you are already behind. But if old processes are dying, what about the people who run them? Actually, good news. Trung Fan posted a video breaking down how AI is creating entirely new job categories. Not just reshuffling existing ones, creating roles that flat out did not exist a year ago. Prompt engineers, AI trainers, vibe coders, model fine-tuners, AI safety researchers, and this thing caught fire. People are saving it and sharing it everywhere, because the dominant take right now is that AI is coming for everyone's job. And Trung's argument is way more interesting than that. He breaks it down. Yes, AI eats some tasks, obviously. That part is real, but it also generates new categories of work that nobody predicted. And the examples are wild. There are people making 6 figures writing system prompts. That was not a job 2 years ago. And here's the thing that makes me optimistic. A year ago, nobody knew what a vibe coder was. Now companies are hiring for it. The open question, though, do these new roles pay as well? Do they exist at the same scale? That is the part nobody has answered yet. But if you are building, the signal is clear. The opportunity is in the gaps. Do not just automate what exists. Build tools for the roles that did not exist last year. That is where the money's going. And honestly, that is a way more exciting framing than doom and gloom. 2 quick ones before I let you go. First, this one got me. Zach Yadagari and Henry Langmack started Cal AI when they were 17. High school students, the app does one simple thing. You snap a photo of your food and AI estimates the calories. That is it. No manual logging. No searching through food databases. Just point your camera and it tells you. That is it. In 18 months, they hit 15 million downloads. $50 million in annual revenue. With 7 people. Yesterday, MyFitnessPal acquired them. Zach is 19, still in college. He applied to 18 schools with a 4.0 GPA and a $50 million company. 15 rejected him, which, wild. But here is why this story matters. They had no technical moat, no breakthrough AI research. It was UX simplicity. Make the hard thing easy. Let AI handle the rest. They beat MyFitnessPal, a company with 20 million foods in their database. Because most people do not want comprehensive. They want easy. AI leveled the playing field. The advantage now goes to whoever understands the user best. If two teenagers can build a $50 million company in 18 months with AI tools, what is stopping you, right? Second quick one. 2. Anthropic just made Claude's memory feature free. So memory is this feature where Claude remembers things about you across conversations. Your preferences, your projects, context from last time. It learns who you are. That used to be paid only. Now it is free. On the exact day Claude is #1 and new users are flooding in from ChatGPT. Whether that timing was planned or not, it is perfect. Because memory creates switching costs. Once Claude knows you, your preferences, your projects, your context, leaving means starting over somewhere else from scratch. Look, how does the retention play? Ship a free feature that makes leaving painful right when your competitor is bleeding users. That is product strategy. Take notes. So think about the full arc here. Anthropic got banned by the government, wrote the backlash to #1 on the App Store, and then immediately gave away the one feature that makes sure those new users never leave. Sam dismissed them. The government punished them. And they just had the best week in AI history. I mean, growth story if you tried. That is your past. I am Sarah. See you on the timeline.